Why isn't there a word for that? There are lots of things it seems we should have a word for, but don't. We have parents, children, siblings. Why no word for all your nieces and nephews together? Brazilians have a word for the melancholy yearning for something or someone that you miss, saudade. Why don't we? We have a verb for lying, and while we have phrases we can use, we don't have a single verb for telling the truth. Languages are full of holes like this. They're called lexical gaps, and they exist for various reasons. The main one being that languages are more likely to have words for concepts they need to refer to a lot. In cultures where it is important to keep track of the relative ages of family members, there will be more specific words for relatives. Mandarin has words for older brother, younger sister, older female cousin on mother's side. At one point, English had the word patruel for child of a brother or paternal uncle. Why have a word for something so specific? It was important for succession. If your brothers and patruels were out of the picture, you could become king. So apparently, we haven't had much of a need for a simple term for nieces and nephews. But in cases where it might be important, there are those who have been known to use the word nibblings. Some lexical gaps between languages have to do with the general habits or grammar of a language. English has a tendency to put a lot of information about the manner in which an action was done in the verb itself. It might seem odd to speakers of languages like Spanish and French that don't tend to do this, that we have words for walk with difficulty, jump on one foot, or move like a snake. It seems strange to us that other languages express other qualities within single words. Still, if people need words for any type of very specific concept, the language will find a way. You might not think anyone could ever need a single word meaning little bits of metal of varied size strewn across an area as if a can had been shredded by a lawnmower. But if you're a metal detecting hobbyist, you do. It's called Can's law, and it can really mess up your detecting. Professional jargon, legalese, and academic language are all consequences of the Can's law principle in action. People with a shared context come up with words that mean very specific things within that context. EU bureaucrats often have to deal with a set of procedures concerning the formation and operation of committees, so they talk about comitology. For a philosopher who wants to talk about the nature and structure of knowledge and belief, it's more efficient to just say epistemology. And a kid who spends time perfecting the art of grabbing car bumpers while skateboarding in order to hitch a ride will talk about skitching. Even though we can make words for anything we really need, there will always be gaps to discover. Telling the truth seems like an important and necessary concept. Why don't we have a word for the opposite of lying? Partly because we're supposed to be telling the truth as a default. We make words for the marked condition, the departure from the default. What is the opposite of sinning, speeding, littering, boasting? Just as with telling the truth, on the level, talking straight, there are phrases we can use, but not simple words. It's the noticeable deviation from the expected that gets the word. Unless you're Nancy Sinatra. Then you can do whatever you want.